What's happening, my friends? It's Cash Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Trump. What's up, Trump? Mike Mavic. What's up, Mike? Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cash Sports, the Box Storia. Today, boxing in the States, Georgia. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Storia, bringing you all that boxing history. Because boxing is the greatest sport of them all. And that's why we love it, cannot get enough of it. Mike Grimm. Salute, Mike. How are you today, bro? Boxing in the States today, Georgia. And how is everyone? Thursday. Pulled right up on another weekend. Thursday afternoon edition of Cash Sports, the Box Story. Deep into another week of boxing history. Got a good one today. I didn't know Georgia had as much boxing history as they do, you know. There's some big fights down there. You know, after that suspension Muhammad Ali had, his first fight back off the 3-year suspension was guess where? In Georgia. Yep, we're going to talk about that fight. He fought Jerry Corey, coming back off his 3-year suspension. Yep, it was in Georgia. Holyfield and the white Muhammad Qawi. Georgia, Augusta Boxing Club was a club formed back in the 70s to help out disadvantaged youth, at-risk youth, get them off the streets, give them something to do. It was not just boxing, it was all kind of activities. Yep. And the president of that club, a guy started that in his garage before they grew, you know, made it a part of the Georgia Department of Parks and Recreations eventually. And the director of that club now is a former boxer that started at the club. Yeah, we're going to cover all that today. So, yeah, Georgia got a deep boxing history. And I got about 14 or 15 boxers from Georgia. Like Trump said, Vernon Forrest, Paul Williams, both from Augusta, Georgia. Had good professional boxing careers. We're going to cover them when we get to the portion about boxers from Georgia. Of course, Evander Holyfield. Now, Evander was born in Alabama, but he moved to Georgia when he was 5 years old, and his boxing career played out of Georgia, Atlanta, GA. Of course, the current face of boxing has had a few fights in Georgia, and he's big there. He has a home in Atlanta. Talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, yeah. Had a few fights down there and got a good relationship in Georgia, you know. Yep, so Georgia, pretty good boxing state. Let's talk fashion in the building. Salute Remo, hashtag JBT. Everybody done seen the latest edition of Let's Talk Fashion. The JBT Fashion Show, Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Yep. And Remo's doing another thing with Aunt McQueen. I believe that's 11 a.m. on Friday. Thomas Hill in the building, hashtag JBT. What's up, T Hill? Good to see you today. It's 2 p.m. Thursday. This Cash Sports, the Box Story. Coming right at you. Couple days left in this week. Of course, the profile tomorrow is Ike Williams. And guess where Ike is from? Georgia. We're going to talk about him a little bit, not too much, because we're going to talk about him a whole lot tomorrow. But yeah, I just found that out this morning. Ike Williams is from Georgia. Yeah, he's the profile this week. Yep. And getting closer to the more boxing this weekend. Virgil Ortiz back in the ring against Bohachuk. Virgil going after his first title. I think he had an interim or something at 147, I think. But he's going after his first major title now at 154. Virgil probably should be at about 160 because his 2 fights at 154, I don't think he's ever made the weight yet. So, yeah. But the weigh-in for this one will be tomorrow. But, after Virgil had that sickness, rhabdomyolysis, go ahead, Cass Sports, rhabdomyolysis. I got that right. And I heard so many people say it. Because, if not, I don't know what I would be calling it. But, anyway, after Virgil 2 fights back from that, he hadn't got out of the first round yet. So we get another look at him Saturday. Ain't his fault they put overmatching him with people. And I think the last guy, what was it, about 30 seconds or something? Got him with that liver shot. No, the last guy was the one that had the aneurysm or something. And Tony Weeks said, y'all ain't gonna put that on me. So Tony was watching like a hawk. And Virgil landed about 2 punches. Tony said, that's it. That was Oscar and put the man in there with a damn aneurysm. And Tony told it after the fight. And we was all over Tony when he stopped it. At first said, no, Tony, no, you shouldn't have stopped that. But then when we found out the deal, we was like, I don't blame Tony. Tony was like, no, the guy had died or something. The first thing we would say, well, you stopped Rolly and Barroso, and Rolly wasn't landing punches, but you let this guy die in there. So Tony said, no, that ain't happening on my watch. Virgil landed like 2 right hands, and Tony jumped. Tony made the move. Said, it's over. But why did they put the guy in there like that? And then I think the fight before that, I think I might have it mixed up, but I know one fight Virgil got the liver shot in, and the other one was the brain aneurysm guy. But we get another look at Virgil Saturday and see what's going on. I don't think he's going to get Bohachuk out of there in no first round. Nah. That first round stuff is over for Virgil Saturday. But this should be a pretty good fight. And that killer Abdullah Mason back in there next weekend on the 17th. Like I was saying, Abdullah, I've seen about 6 or 7 of his fights, and I've never seen anybody get out of trouble. Once Abdullah gets you on the ropes and get you hurt, that's it. It's a wrap. He got that killer instinct, man. Big time. And remember, he got 4 brothers that's also fighters. I think the youngest is about to make his debut, or he just made it. I'm not sure. Somebody way down there making their first fight. You don't hear too much about it. But yeah, the youngest brother is getting ready to get in there. There's 5 of them, all trained by their dad, a fighting family. I know they had fun growing up. And probably was a fight every day in that family, man. But yeah, Abdullah's back in there on the 17th. He's on the undercard of Christian and Billy and Sergey Derevyanchenko. There's another name I got right, I think. But I heard a lot of people say that a lot too, But appreciate everybody so far that's in the chat. We're gonna wait about 10 or 15 more minutes to get started. We got some more people coming. Of course, Lonnie Lee will be here. Al Booger. No Melanin Queen 27 is coming. They're all at work right now. Lonnie gets off at 2:30. He'll check in about 2:35-ish or something like that. But how is everybody today? Thursday afternoon. Pulled up on another weekend. I don't believe it, man. I remember, I'm just telling y'all how was the weekend Monday, and now. Did we have a Tuesday and Wednesday this week? Or did it just go from Monday to Thursday? Damn. It's crazy, man. Life is ticking by too fast. Slow down some, man. I'm in my 60s. I only got like 40 more years left. Yeah, I'm going on up into the hundreds. I got about 40 more years left. But yeah, I'm boxing in the States today. You'll see what I'm talking about. Georgia has a deep boxing history. I didn't even know that. I was doing my research yesterday, and I saw something about one-handed boxing in Georgia, and I was like, what? Started writing, but it was the country Georgia over there in Russia somewhere. And I was like, oh, yeah. One-handed boxing. It was something about the challenger had to use one hand or something, but the champion can use both hands. Ain't that just like Russia? Doing some unfair stuff like that. The challenger had to use one hand, and the champion can use two hands. One-handed boxing. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought it was Al, Georgia. I was right and said they're gonna love this. And then I found out it was the country Georgia, over in the former Soviet Union. Yeah, that was crazy. I wouldn't get in there. You got to use one hand, and your opponent using two. That's crazy. But boxing in the state series. Y'all like my thumbnail? That's gonna be my thumbnail. I was changing it from state to state, but that's gonna be it for boxing in the states. That's a good, United States boxing does. Yeah. See, Remo, I know a little bit about thumbnails and technology. A little bit. Yeah, I don't know as much as you and Horry Fanks and Ant. I'm in the neighborhood of y'all, on the edge of the neighborhood. But everybody okay? This Thursday afternoon, hit that appreciation button. Appreciation button is what we call the like button over here in the JBT. Yeah, I'm part of that Fire JBT network. Steadily adding shows, man. Yeah. Fire shows. Got a whole bunch of hardcore boxing fans. Yeah. We got the king of the casuals in the JBT, Remo. We got everything over here. Yep. We got the Angry White Men, 10 p.m. Fridays. They going strong. Old School is my part-time co-host. I'm waiting to hear from him. Our next show is going to be on Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I don't even need any notes. I grew up on Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Back in the 70s. I saw his best years, in the 60s on film and stuff. I was very young then. I wasn't into boxing yet, but yeah, missed his best three. But like I was saying, after that 3-year suspension, his first fight back was in Georgia. And we're gonna cover that. Yeah, before Jerry Coy. We talked about Jerry yesterday, remember, one of those guys that never won a title. Now, if Jerry was fighting nowadays, he would definitely have a title. It's like 20 titles in each division, so I know Jerry would definitely have a couple of them. Yeah. He fought everybody. He just was in some title fights, but he just never could get it done. Yeah, some good fighters. Remember, Shavers and Gentleman Jerry Cooney, Ron Law. Yeah, them guys never got titles. I still can't believe Donovan Razor Ruddock wasn't in a title fight. Yeah, T. Hill, I think the 2 fights against Tyson were non-title fights. They fought Tyson twice, but I think one of them was when Tyson had came out of prison. Mike did become champion again, but I think Razor fought him. I think it might have been the first time Mike hadn't got a belt back yet. Yeah. And then when he did get it back, I think he lost it to Evander. He lost to Lennox too. But salute to everybody. My regulars in here so far. But what's going on with Bud and Canelo? Canelo come around yet? Canelo said he gains nothing by fighting Bud. If he beats him, we're all gonna say you should have beat him, and wow, suppose Bud beats him. There goes Canelo. That's gonna be a big hit on his legacy, But I don't think so. Because Bud got some work to do after that Madrimov performance. He won it. I was saying Madrimov at first, but after I went back and looked at it, Bud pulled it out. It was very close. Madrimov deserves a lot of credit. He's going to be a problem at 154. Madrimov, yeah. Because the guy can fight, man, And, yeah. He did a very good job against Bud, I think that was his 11th fight against pound for pound number 1, and put the performance in that he put in. Yeah, that August 3rd card did not disappoint. We were talking about it for a while, and turned out to be great. A very good card. And we got more straight ahead, a couple of days. I guess the final press is today, right? And the weigh-in tomorrow. And then Saturday, they go into action. Yeah. I got a lot today. We might start in a couple minutes. Yeah, Georgia. I was surprised by the kind of stuff related to boxing that went on down there in Georgia over the years. And some good boxers from Georgia. Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray only lived he was born in Alley, Georgia, but he didn't stay there long. He lived in New York and Detroit. But Sugar Ray's so good, I'm probably going to include him in the Georgia show today, Michigan, and New York. And by the way, next week is Hawaii. Yep. They got it. I was looking at that earlier. Yeah, they got some history with boxing. We're going right on through the alphabet on Thursday. Boxing in the States. Yeah. And the punch of the week next week is the I forgot already. Yeah. Because I thought I had ran out of punches. I did them all. Had the Bolo and the I did 2 of them Monday. Corkscrew punch. Gazelle. That's the one Al Booker told me. Said I haven't did the Gazelle punch yet, so that's going to be Monday. The Gazelle punch. Yeah. I get my most views on the Punch of the Week shows and the profiles. Yeah. Got almost 1,000 views on the Jab show. Yeah, people like those shows. Yeah. Got to be hardcore boxing fans though, because those are technical shows. Get into the nitty-gritty, techniques and how to defend the punches and all that stuff. Casuals ain't trying to hear that stuff. You got to be the king of the casuals to hear that kind of stuff, like Remo. Yeah. But yeah, David Tour. That's right. Trump and Bobo Alston from back in the old days. I think Bobo was around the 30s, 40s, somewhere around in there. 3 of them from Hawaii. Yeah. That's next. We're getting on up into it. But like I said, the Punch of the Week shows will probably go into 2025 because we're only like 8 in. We got like 40 something more to do. It ain't even 40 weeks left in the year, is it? So yeah, that's going to take a while. Then I'm going to come up with another series after that. Yeah. And then Wednesdays, I need some more ideas now. Remo and Thomas Hill gave me a lot of ideas for Wednesday shows, but I don't know where they at. I can't find them. Remo and Thomas Hill. So yeah, I don't know how to get them to me. But I did a few of them. But yeah, Wednesday shows always is an idea from out of the chat. Al Booker gave me this week's one, the one yesterday on the fighters that the good fighters that never won a title. Yeah, that was an Al Booker idea. It's like the Gazelle punch. Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. Let me write that down. I'm not gonna lose this one, Remo. I got one little notebook that all the Wednesday shows gonna go with. Longest standing champion, division by division. That is a good one. That's next Wednesday. Longest standing champion, division by division. Mike Mathick then gave me some good profiles. Earl of Pearl Hargrove and Ike the Cat. Was it Dick Creek? Yes. It used to be my nickname when I was in there, the Cat. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, longest standing champion, division by division. I fought on the street. I wasn't undefeated. I got beat on the bus one time, man. And everybody saw it. Yeah, that's the worst place to get beat at, on the bus, man. Yep, coming home from school. But I won the rematch, but it wasn't on the bus. Yeah. I won more than I lost, though. And let me tell you this, that I'm going to start. One time, I wasn't married to my wife yet, but I got into a fight with one of her old boyfriends, right? And he stopped fighting. I looked up. Blood was pouring down his face, and I got kind of proud, like I did that. I came find out my wife hit him in the head with a vase. She did it. But she didn't have to do that because people that saw it said I was winning. And my knuckles was all bruised up. But yeah, she hit him in the head with a vase. But when he first stopped fighting, I saw that blood pouring down. I thought I had did it. I started feeling good, but they told me my wife did it. She hit him in the head with a vase. Yeah. But yep, I won that one. But let's get ready to get started. Remember that, Miss Cass? You hit that man in the head with a vase. And I was winning. You didn't have to do that. Okay, let's go with today's show. Boxing in the States, Georgia. Lonnie Lee will be along, and Al Booker will be along. And we're going to have a good one today. Everybody hitting the appreciation button. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Support the grind, you know. Hit the Cash App, the Super Chat, the JBT Network Cash App. I think there's another raffle going on. Coach Thomas Moore sent me like $25 to the JBT Cash App, and he put a raffle in it. I didn't even know. I don't know. I got to talk to Jay Hart because I don't know what raffle he's talking about. I haven't been in the hangout this week. I've been very busy in the morning. But yeah, he said $25 for the raffle. What raffle? But yeah, no, we was talking about a laptop and stuff. Everybody can use a laptop, you know. Yeah, but we're gonna have something else going on soon. There's the is that it? JBT Network one? Is that our Cash App? Yeah. $. Let me put it up. Yeah, Miss Cass hit the button and hit me for base. $, JBT Network, all caps 1. $, JBT Network, all caps 1. And we wasn't merging, but after that, I said, this woman must really love me, man. Yeah. But she didn't have to do it because I was winning the fight. Yeah, but let that go. Okay. Boxing in the States, Georgia. Everybody okay this Thursday afternoon, ready for the weekend? Because you better start getting ready because in another day, it will be here. But yeah, whatever you can spare, you know, help us out here. $1, $10, $2,000 or $3,000, you know. That's for y'all millionaires. You know, drop it in the Cash App. It will be put to good use. Okay. Betterment of this fire organization we got going on here. The JBT. Just boxing talk, y'all. My bare knuckles interpretation. Is that? I mean, no. What's the word? Well, I was trying to act like bare knuckles, but let's get started. Running out of stuff to kill time with. Got a little slide display. Yeah, Ike Williams, the profile tomorrow is from Georgia, though. Yeah, I didn't know that until this morning. Yeah. And Trump said, I'm getting ready to tell on myself. Trump put it in the chat before I got started, Vernon Forrest and Paul Williams. And guess what? I didn't have either one of them in there, but they're in there now. Thank you, Trump. I don't know how I missed them. Those are two big ones. Vernon Forrest and Paul Williams and Trump. I didn't have either one of them, but I got them now. Thanks to Trump. Yep. That's why it's good to have hardcores in your chat because the casuals wouldn't have known that. So I must be a casual because I didn't have either one of them. Those are two big-time Georgia boxers, both from Augusta, Georgia. But they're part of it now. All's well that ends well. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, Just Do? Coming up at 4 p.m. I'm getting you good and warmed up going. Got something good coming up. At the end, I'll let you know what we're going to be listening to over on Just Do Boxing today. The Voice, the balanced boxing talk. Both sides of everything, unbiased. The 100 view on it. Okay, everything going on in boxing nowadays. Just Do Boxing. And guess what? He's in the building. Salute Just Do. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's go with today's show. Boxing in the States, Georgia. Not this one over there in the Soviet Union, the one down south in the United States, because I had the one for the Soviet Union. Remember I told you I was looking at something called one-handed boxing. Writing. I said, oh no, that's not this Georgia. You know, the challenger used one hand, the champion can use two hands. That's crazy. Now, yeah. Oh no, Mike, not at all, man. We got a plenty of vase sitting around here too. I ain't fooling with Miss Cass. No way. I've seen her in action. Yeah. No. My wife can fight. Okay. Georgia has a history of boxing that includes a deep tradition of boxing. Olympic boxing, professional boxing, and boxing clubs, right? And Georgia has produced many professional boxers, including the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson, born in Alley, Georgia, right? And Sugar Ray became a professional boxer in 1940 at the age of 19, and he competed in over 200 fights during his career, which lasted until 1965. 25-year career, Sugar Ray Robinson, right? He won 175 of his fights, 109 by knockout. And he won the World Welterweight Championship title multiple times. Okay? And many in the boxing world today consider Sugar Ray Robinson one of the greatest boxers ever. And remember, he was the reason the mythical pound for pound list was created in the first place. Now I'll have more on boxers from Georgia later in the show. But Sugar Ray Robinson, you got to cover him first. Now they've had some. Georgia also has boxing, a lot of good boxing clubs now, including the Augusta Boxing Club, which was founded in 1976. And remember, that was to keep young people off the streets, right? And the club has a history of helping at-risk youth learn sportsmanship and producing notable boxers, among other type of sports and activities, not just boxing. Now, Tom Moriartis, an Augusta juvenile court probation officer, founded the club in 1976 in his garage, right? And it had the goal of keeping troubled youth off the streets. And in 2011, the club moved to the Augusta Parks and Recreation Department. And at that point, it became a nonprofit organization. And the Georgia Historical Society has named the club Walton Valley Gym a Georgia historical site. And Ray Stingray Whitfield, a former professional boxer who got his start at the club, is now its director. Yep. Guy that got his start there is now the director of the club. And then we have this organization in Connect Savannah. Savannah, Georgia has a big boxing tradition. Let's talk about that for a minute. Savannah, Georgia. Remember, I've been telling you all week that is just a huge boxing town, Savannah. Yeah. Let's talk about that. How's everybody this Thursday afternoon? Always appreciate everybody rocking with Gas Sports, the box story. Gotta have somebody talking about this boxing history, Something you love is always good to know the roots. Okay, Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, Savannah is a boxing town, past, present, and future of the sport. There's Lonnie Lee right there. Yep. Just got started, Lonnie. We just talked about a little bit about Sugar Ray Robinson because he's from Georgia. Didn't stay there long, but he was born there, Alley, Georgia. A salute to Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT. In the building now. Okay. Now I can just stop stalling and get on into the show now. Lonnie is here. Okay. Savannah. Talking about Savannah, Georgia. Okay. Now, while combat sports have increased with popularity in recent years with the rise of mixed martial arts, along with a new wave of interest in boxing, many Savannah locals are unaware of the rich fighting traditions of the city. And of course, Georgia is the peach state, right? Now, while boxing is no longer at the forefront of Savannah sports mindset, many of its citizens remember a time where the city was a thriving hub for boxing. And some people are working to bring that back down in Savannah. Now, while the early 2000s was the golden age for boxing in Savannah, the roots of that period began much earlier. Mike Gerald Sr., he was the founder of the once great Gerald's Boxing Gym. Mike Gerald, Jarrell. He was the founder of the Gerald Boxing Gym. He remembers his early years of amateur boxing in Georgia. Now, excuse me for a minute. I lost this. There you go, Historical Society. There we go, right there. Put my ink pen on. I lost my place marker somewhere. It's in the house somewhere. Now, yeah, Mike Gerald Sr., he remembers his early years of amateur boxing in Georgia, okay? Now, during this era, many of the all-time great boxers were in their formative years, and Mr. Gerald was able to cross paths with some of them, including Evander Holyfield, right? Now, Evander was, like I said, actually born in Alabama, but he moved to Georgia when he was 5, and his professional career played out in Georgia. Okay? Now, according to the Gerald family, he fought the future heavyweight champion 2 times in the amateur, talking about Evander Holyfield. Now, though he lost both fights to him, the family is proud to say that in an unexpected twist, he gave Evander Holyfield a standing 8 count in one of their 2 fights. Yeah. Gave him a standing 8 count. And Mike Gerald, who remembers doing outdoor amateur boxing events in what he calls the tent in his youth, he wanted to bring a new level of boxing to Savannah. Okay? And the family opened Gerald's Boxing Gym, and the sport took off. With a strong stable of local fighters and some regular visits from some of the world's best boxers, the Geralds began promoting shows. They reached national television, including ESPN. Yeah, including ESPN. Mr. Gerald said, "We had a location near the river that was big enough to hold events in, and back then, we sold out just about every show. It was a pretty awesome place to watch a fight because it was small enough where you could hear and see everything that was happening in the ring." And Mike Gerald Jr., his son, explained, "For a lot of fighters, gaining experience fighting is the hardest thing. So having shows locally almost once a month was a huge benefit for it." Okay? And the gym used to be located in the heart of historic downtown on Farm Street. Now, where it once stood has now been overtaken by a high-end hotel. But just a few decades ago, it was a bustling center for boxing in the Deep South. Al Seeger, a former fighter out of the gym, remembers the gym's heyday. Al said, "We had 2 rings going, and we stayed open from early in the morning to late at night. It was really a cool sight to come in on any given night and see sparring and training. It was a happening place." Mike Gerald Jr. reminisces about the success of his father's vision in the early 2000s. Paul Williams, who Trump was talking about. Paul Williams and Nate Campbell, both were undisputed champions in the professional ranks, came down and trained at Mike Gerald's gym. Both of them had a number of fights in the gym when they were throwing shows. And for fans of boxing, those 2 names are synonymous with boxing royalty. Nate Campbell held 3 of the 4 major belts in boxing, while Paul Williams had 1. And they trained at this gym. And these 2 fighters, though, were not the only fighters to achieve boxing success in the city. A few local Savannah fighters reached international recognition, most notably the previously mentioned Al Seeger, as well as Norman Jones. Both fighters, under the coaching of respected trainer Jimmy Chumley, became internationally ranked. Al Seeger captured the IBA world title and compiled 28 professional wins. Norman Jones, also a winner of 28 professional fights, fought for a world title against the famed future light heavyweight champion, Montel Griffin. Norman doesn't mince words. Becoming a pro boxer wasn't easy. He began his professional career after winning a local tough man contest. And few would have guessed he would have made it so far in the sport, right? His head coach was a no-nonsense boxing veteran who believed in forging his fighters the hard way. In the gym, he used to say, you'll either get good or quit, okay? He was a no-nonsense coach. You're either going to improve or you're going to quit. And Norman remembers, the training was intense, brutal at times, but it was all for the goal of making his fighters unbreakable. The sparring was hard, and the fighters were taught to never quit in the heat of battle. And in over a decade of training, I never once saw my coach stop sparring, no matter how tough it was for us, Norman continued. And when asked about his most proud accomplishment in boxing, Norman replied, at one point, I was ranked number 6 in the nation and 12th in the world. That is something I can definitely look back on. It felt pretty good. And that being said, for Norman, many of the best memories of his career aren't based on personal accomplishments, but rather personal relationships. Getting to know people, fighting guys and then getting to know them, learning about them, that kind of stuff was awesome. In this way, purists believe boxing is beautiful, but make no mistake, the tough sport takes its toll on many fighters with as many fights as Norman had. And his career was ended in the lead up to a match that was supposed to take place in the legendary Madison Square Garden in New York City, when damage to his eyes was deemed too severe to compete. He explained that his only regret lies in his wish to have competed with more all-time great fighters from his generation. Now, though Norman was done fighting, his love of the fighting community carried over to his life after boxing. And today, he is still active in the martial arts community. He explained, I started coaching boxing because I care about people. I like to try to make people their best. And often he can be found at the local boxing and MMA gym, Savannah Combat Club, giving his knowledge to the next generation of fighters. And since the Gerald's Boxing Gym has come to an end, there's been a bit of a drop-off in boxing popularity. But a few members of the community are fighting hard to keep the sport alive in Savannah. The Savannah Combat Club is owned by former UFC fighter and pro boxer Stephen Bass. He continued the city's fighting tradition. And after a successful career in combat sports at the highest level, Bass wanted to create a place that could support a competition fight team in all of the major combat sports, as well as provide safe but realistic training for all members of the community. He states that the gym mission is to provide strength through martial arts and fitness. I want to help make fighters that are good in the ring as well as good people. The gym is often involved in community outreach programs and charity work. In his view, learning to box can teach discipline, give people confidence, and provide a sense of community. These are all things that he felt when he began his career training at Gerald's Gym and eventually fighting and training in various sports of North America. Now, while he started boxing at an early age, Bass didn't begin training full-time until he was in his mid-20s. He said, I watched an early UFC broadcast with some people that I worked with. I told my boss that I could do that. And he just laughed at me. And a few years later, I called him after my first UFC fight, and he already knew why I was calling. He explained with a laugh. Though he spent the majority of his career fighting in mixed martial arts before he stopped competing, he wanted to return to his roots and box professionally. By the end of his combat sports career, Bass had competed in 14 professional MMA and 6 professional boxing fights. He now uses this experience and knowledge to lead a fight team that competes all over the Southeast U.S. His goal is to help current competing fighters reach their dreams of making it to success in combat sports. The goal is to eventually throw shows again in town getting it to a place where local athletes can compete regularly without traveling and people can see boxing often. I think we'll go to a long way in making it popular again, Bass explained. Now, while Savannah's prominence as a key player in the world of boxing has waned, there is hope that a new era of popularity will take hold and a new wave of local fighters will reach the highest level of boxing once again. Savannah, yeah, was a nice boxing town down there, and they're trying to return it. Now, remember, Georgia hosted the 1996 Olympics. It was in Atlanta. Remember, Muhammad Ali hit the Olympic torch. And remember, Joe Frazier's sunset. Joe Frazier was still feeling dislike for Muhammad Ali. And Joe Frazier said if he was there, he would have pushed his ass in there with the flames. But anyway, in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. Boxing at the 1996 Summer Olympics took place in the Alexander Memorial Coliseum in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the boxing schedule began on July 20th, 1996, and ended on August 4th. Okay? 12 boxing events were contested with the participation of 355 athletes from 97 countries. And there was significant controversy surrounding the judging of the fight between Floyd Mayweather Jr. of the United States and Serafim Tenderov of Bulgaria. With Todorov being awarded the semi-final fight win, which according to many observers was won by Mayweather, including the referee. Remember, I told you the story. After the fight was over, the guy said, and the winner is, and the referee started to raise Floyd's hand, right? Yeah. And it was at that point that Floyd said, I never want to have that feeling of ever losing again, and he never did. It was his last amateur fight, and it was the last time he ever lost, Mr. 50-0. And additionally, in the final of the fight at flyweight between Bulgaria's Daniel Petrov, another Bulgarian, what was up with them judges in Atlanta cheating for Bulgaria? But anyway, this was at flyweight. Bulgaria's Daniel Petrov and Mansueto Velasco of the Philippines. Petrov won the gold medal, as many spectators believed that Velasco should have won the fight and questioned the one-sided scoring of the judges. Yep, that was another one. Now let's look at a couple of professional fights in Georgia, okay? Now, while Evander Holyfield versus Dwight Muhammad Qawi is considered the best fight in Atlanta boxing history, the most significant and biggest event in the city was Muhammad Ali's comeback fight in 1970, right? Muhammad Ali had been stripped of his heavyweight title and exiled from boxing after being controversially convicted of draft evasion in 1967, right? And after his 3-year suspension, his comeback fight was in Atlanta, right? Against Jerry Corey. This fight was on October 26, 1970 at the Atlanta Municipal Auditorium, right? Let's talk about that fight for a minute, okay? At the Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. That's where this fight took place at, Muhammad Ali's comeback fight against Jerry Corey. Remember, we talked about Jerry yesterday. Jerry never won a title, but he fought everybody. Now, this fight against Ali wasn't a title fight. It was Ali's first fight back. He had been stripped of his titles at that point. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey. What's up, RP? How are you today? Boxing in the States, Georgia. Next week is Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii got a nice boxing history. Of course, Hawaii ain't on that map I got there, my profile. No, but it's got a pretty good boxing history. Yeah, Atlanta and the rebirth of Muhammad Ali. That is when he returned to boxing in Atlanta, GA, at the Atlanta Municipal Auditorium. Yeah. Now, for some, Muhammad Ali's defining connection to Atlanta is the 1996 Olympic Games, where he famously lit the Olympic cauldron to start the games, and where Joe Frazier said he would have pushed his ass in there if he'd have been there, right? But that's what a lot of people connect Muhammad Ali to Atlanta about lighting that torch. But for others, this was not the most important moment of Ali's time in Atlanta, but the culmination of a decades-long relationship that proved to be beneficial to the city and Ali, right? Ali's relationship with Atlanta began with his 1970 comeback fight against Jerry Cory, a fight that is often relegated to the footnotes of his legacy, despite its crucial role in the growth of Atlanta and the rebirth of Ali's boxing career. Yep. You know the story about he got drafted into the Army and he refused to go in. And after 1967, he had just had a few days after he had his fight, the New York State Athletic Commission stripped Ali of his title, right? And his boxing license. And the WBA also took away his title, right? And in June of 67, he was tried and convicted of violating the United States Selective Service laws, refusing to be drafted. And, he was unable to box for 3 years. And each state he approached to get a boxing license in denied him, one after another, effectively ending his career at that point, okay? But his career remained in doubt until 1970, when Georgia Senator Leroy Johnson, he was Georgia's first black state senator, right, after Reconstruction. And he made his mission to help Ali's comeback, okay? Johnson discovered a loophole in Georgia's boxing laws that could allow Ali to fight in the state, right? And since the state had no boxing commission, the city of Atlanta could give Ali a license to box because they had no commission to deny him, so they could go around it and the city could give him a license, right? This state senator, Leroy Johnson, found that loophole. And after convincing Atlanta Mayor Sam Marcel to allow Atlanta City Athletic Commission to give Ali a boxing license, Johnson went to see Atlanta's governor, Lester Maddox, okay? And Johnson expected Maddox, a staunch segregationist, to attempt to prevent Ali from fighting in Georgia. But with the help of powerful black Atlantans, such as future Mayor Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young and Jesse Hill, the CEO of Atlanta Life Insurance, Johnson was able to get the governor's approval. Yeah. So after receiving permission from the governor for Ali to fight in Atlanta, Johnson and his team had to prove that Ali could still box after being sidelined for 3 years. And more importantly, they had to draw a crowd, right? So they held an 8-round exhibition match at Morehouse College in Atlanta. That was September 2nd, 1907, during which Ali sparred 3 opponents. And the event was a success, completely packing the small arena and proving that Ali could still fight, despite being out of boxing for 3 years and being out of shape, right? Following the exhibition, Ali sought to fight Joe Frazier for the heavyweight title, but he was denied. Instead, he opted to fight Jerry Cory, a popular, skilled white heavyweight boxer who had spoken out against Ali's objection to the Vietnam War, right? Okay. And the fight was held in Atlanta Municipal Auditorium, October 26, 1907. Okay? And a majority black crowd showed up for the fight. They were excited to see Ali, and they packed the 5,000-seat arena. Now, during the fight, Ali proved he had not lost any speed during his hiatus and dominated the fight, rarely letting Cory get a punch in. And one of Ali's blows caused a large cut over Cory's left eye in the 3rd round. Officials ended the fight and declared Ali the winner by TKO. Okay? Now, while the fight was underwhelming for many Atlantans, the city's time in the limelight was more than enough. The newly constructed Hyatt Regency Hotel became a hotbed for black wealth, with local business owners mixing with black celebrities from across the country, such as Diana Ross and Sidney Poitier. Their fight did a lot for the city. There was a sense of pride seeing all these black people with dignity coming together to support Muhammad Ali. St. Henrietta Antonin, an assistant to Jesse Hill. And Atlanta also received attention as a location for tourism and hosting more events and concerts, increasing local convention and hospitality business, with future UN Ambassador Andrew Young remarking, "The fight made Atlanta a destination." Okay, I better keep track. Oh, there's Melanin Queen 27. What's up, Melanin Queen 27? I can't miss a big shot like Melanin Queen 27 coming in here. Miss Cass will fire me for sure. Salute Melanin Queen 27. That's why I gotta pay attention. I told you I almost got fired last week for missing them super chats. I miss Melanin Queen, Miss Cass for sure. This would definitely probably be my last day. She might let me finish the week out, but I caught it. I'm on point. Okay, but salute Melanin Queen 27. That's my number one moderator right there, Melanin Queen 27. Okay, appreciate you 1,000%, Melanin Queen 27. Okay, now, yeah, we talking about this Ali's comeback fight after suspension was in Atlanta, Georgia, boxing in Georgia today. Now, for Ali after the fight, the Corey fight marked the rebirth of his career. His New York boxing license was reinstated because boxing saw all the attention he brought, and they saw Ali was still a draw. And you know, when it comes to money, they said, forget that refusing to be drafted. The money comes first. So they gave him his license back, right? And he was reinstated. And soon after that, he got his desired title match against Joe Frazier, the world heavyweight boxing champion at the time. And you know what happened with that. But Atlanta gave him a chance when no other city would. Yep. You know what happened in the Joe Frazier case. Now, in the years following his comeback fight, Ali continued to interact with the Atlanta community. He showed his appreciation, making appearances, speaking at local colleges, and interacting with the people he had met at those events. He was a cult hero everywhere he went in Atlanta, said Andrew Young. He hugged and kissed all the women, signed autographs, and took pictures with all the children and anyone else who wanted a picture. Ali also became heavily involved in Atlanta's political scene, remaining friends with Senator Johnson. You know, Leroy Johnson was the one that got it all started, the state senator, remember? He found that loophole. Remember, all the boxing commissions had suspended Ali's license to box in those states. But Georgia didn't have a boxing commission, so they couldn't suspend his license. So that's how Johnson went around and got the city to approve Ali to fight. And so Ali became real good friends with this guy. And Andrew Young and others involved with the planning of his first fight. He also supported Maynard Jackson's mayoral campaign through benefits and donations. And one of the most memorable displays of Ali's support was his 1975 exhibition fight against Mayor Jackson, a charity event to raise money and awareness for local black businesses. He did that a lot. He did an exhibition fight here against the sportscaster back in the early 70s, at the old Baltimore Arena. Now the 3-round, this fight against Maynard Jackson against Mayor Jackson was a 3-round mock fight, and the two massive personalities demanding Jackson apologize for even dreaming about hitting him. Wait, I read that wrong. The 3-round mock fight set the two massive personalities to collide, with Ali demanding Mayor Jackson to apologize for even dreaming about hitting him. Civil rights leader Julian Bond officiated the fight. Jackson came out in a bold pair of floral shorts and threw a few half-hearted punches, while Ali mercifully pulled his punches and took dives on those he received, so that the mayor won by TKO. The crowd loved the comedic affair, making the event a smashing success and further cementing Ali's legacy in Atlanta. Finally, after all he had done for Atlanta, Ambassador Young invited Muhammad Ali to light the Olympic flame for the 1996 Centennial Olympic Games held in Atlanta. He lucky Joe Frazier wasn't niggas, he'd have been in them flames. Young and few others planned his appearance in secrecy. It was a surprise. You know how they run the torch from wherever. And the last leg was run by Muhammad Ali. Nobody knew who it was, remember? Y'all was born then. Y'all ain't that young. You was there, Remo. You saw it, Remo. You ain't that young. Yeah, Ali was surprised last leg to run the torch and light it. Lucky Joe Frazier wasn't nowhere near it. Young and a few others planned his appearance in secrecy, which was executed to immense success. When I saw it was Ali, I instantly said, they got the right person, said Evander Holyfield, heavyweight boxing champion at the time. He brought all these people together. As Ali emerged to light the flame in Centennial Olympic Stadium, the crowd erupted in applause. I bet you Joe Frazier wasn't applauding. The crowd erupted in applause for the Olympic gold medalist boxer, who stood a strong figure despite his battle with Parkinson's disease at the time. Ali lighting the flame has now become part of the iconography of Atlanta, representing not only his athletic achievements, but his continued support and gratitude toward the city of Atlanta. Muhammad Ali in Atlanta, that was a big time. Now I done lost my ink pen and my place mark. Now we are to the portion of the show. Boxers from Atlanta. Oh, no. Boxers from Georgia. Okay, not just Atlanta. Boxers from Georgia. Okay? And yeah, I appreciate you, Trump, because Trump told me he was the first one in, and he put in the chat, don't forget Vernon Gregory and Paul Williams, and guess what? I had forgot. Two big-time boxers from Atlanta, but they're in here now, but I don't have pictures for them because I had made my slide display by then. But boxers from Atlanta. The music too loud, or is it okay? I forgot to show you Sugar Ray. I did Sugar Ray. There's Sugar Ray and somebody. Is that Jake? Is that Jake LaMotta? I didn't miss anybody coming in. Y'all better remind me, because if y'all want me to, it's gonna be a new box story on here. Because I'm in a probationary period again because I messed up missing them super chats. Okay, but we're gonna be okay. Tell Miss Cass not to fire me. Boxers from Atlanta. First one gonna be Ezzard Charles. There's Ezzard. That's Jersey Joe. He get ready. Don't hit him again, Ezzard. It looked like you're on the way down. That was Jersey Joe Walker. I think they fought about 3 times. Didn't they, Joe? Is Joe? I don't even think Joe in here today. Nope. Anybody seen Joe? No, Joe ain't in here today. Okay, that's one of my regulars. You probably got something to do. I'm not even here every day. I missed the day before. Had some stuff going on. I missed the meet and greet, and then I missed my very next show after that. Stuff happens at the most inopportune time. T. Hill said the meet and greet gonna be in Jamaica next year. Damn. Remo's paying everybody's plane fare down there, so don't worry. You better get there. Remo's paying everybody's plane fare to Jamaica for the meet and greet next year. That is so nice. Man, there was something I liked about you, Remo. You're okay. Okay. Boxers from Atlanta, from Georgia. In Atlanta, boxers from Georgia. Okay, Ezzard Charles is first. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's the raffle. Melanie Queen 27 is explained it. Send $10 for a single entry or 3 entries for $25 in Cash App. Subject raffles. Yeah, JB, for a chance to win Apple 10th generation. Winner will be announced October 12th. Good luck. 2 days before me and Amber Queen's birthday. Okay. I didn't even know because Melanie Queen coach Thomas Moore sent me $25 this morning to the JBT. I didn't even know what it was for. Okay. That's the new raffle. Okay, there it is, everybody. Yeah, everybody thank Remo. That's very nice of him. He's going to get us to Jamaica for the meet and greet next year. Yeah. Okay, that's the new raffle. What is it again? The 10th generation. What is that, a phone? BVO Boxing TV. What's up, BVO? How are you today, bro? BVO Boxing TV in the building. Another one of our JBT channels. His favorite boxer is Tank. No, it ain't. It's Teofimo Lopez. Trying to get an interview with Teofimo. How's that profile with the Russells coming, BBO? You haven't put it out yet, have you? I haven't seen it. It's BBO Boxing TV #JBT. How's that coming along? Need my help or anything? Want to let me know? Okay. We got to work together on this thing, BBO. Need any help? Let me know, bro. Okay. Boxers from Atlanta. Ezra Charles is first. There's Ezra. Okay. Now, I forgot to tell you. The current face of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis, has fought in Atlanta and has developed a significant boxing relationship with the city. And he has a home in Atlanta. I had to throw that in there. Yeah. Okay. Ezra Charles. Now, the heavyweight boxing champion was called the Cincinnati Cobra, but he was actually a Georgia native. You know, Ezra is from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay. Called him the Cincinnati Cobra, but he's actually from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay. Charles was born in Lawrenceville, Georgia. There I go, getting ahead of my notes again. Follow the notes, cast, okay? Charles was born in Lawrenceville, Georgia in 1921. And he moved to Cincinnati when he was young. Now, he fought in boxing's golden era when the sport was secondary to baseball in popularity only, okay? Charles is among the pantheon of great boxers, and he fought them all. Jersey Joe Walcott, Archie Moore, Joe Louis, and the legendary Rocky Marciano. Considered a natural-born fighter, Charles didn't capture the public's imagination the way Joe Louis did, but you ever can't read your own damn handwriting? Let me read that again. Considered a natural-born athlete, Charles didn't capture the public's imagination the way Joe Louis did, okay. But his resume is just as impressive. He defeated Walcott in 1949 to win the National Boxing Association title, before beating his idol, Joe Louis, the next year to claim the undisputed heavyweight title, okay? Now, I think we just had the NBA and the New York State Boxing Athletic Commission titles back then. We didn't have WBA was the NBA at that point. There was no WBC and IBF and WBO. So he became two-belt undisputed back then when he beat Joe Louis, right? And he fought the legendary Marciano twice. It was the only fighter ever to last 15 rounds against The Rock in a title fight. But The Rock did rematch him and knocked him out the second time. So Rocky knocked out everybody he fought in title fights. But the first time, Charles did go 15 rounds with him. And Rocky didn't have to rematch him because Rocky was the champion. So he must have rematched him just so he could get him out of it. And he was successful. Now, a member of Boxing's Hall of Fame, Ezra Charles retained the heavyweight boxing title when he beat Jersey Joe in their third fight on March 7th, 1951. Ezra Charles, okay? Now, these slide displays are very good clear today because I wasn't rushing today. Usually I'm just rushing in, just getting home, and I'm rushing anything. I got some good ones today. Okay, next boxer from Georgia is Tiger Flowers. There's the Tiger. That's old, you know. Tiger is from where you from, Tiger? Camille, Georgia. Tiger Flowers from out of Camille, Georgia. Okay. Now, Theodore Tiger Flowers was born on August 5th, 1895 in Camille, Georgia. There I go again. Just read what you wrote. Forget that other stuff. Camille, Georgia. Often referred to as the Georgia Deacon because of his religious devotion, Flowers was a southpaw who began boxing professionally in 1918 at the age of 22, okay? He quickly reeled off 21 straight wins right out the gate before suffering his first loss. And like many other African-American boxers of that time, Flowers found it difficult to get fights with the top white fighters and often had to fight the lower level fighters or fighters of his own race to make a living in boxing. Okay? Now, his 9-year career was highlighted by 2 wins over the great Harry Greve, the first of which earned him the middleweight title of the world, middleweight championship of the world, making him the first black champion in that division's history. Okay? He beat Greve in the rematch and was the only fighter to defeat Harry Greve at middleweight. And Harry Greve had almost 300 fights and only lost 5 times. The Tiger Flowers beat him in 2 of them. Okay? And Tiger was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1976 and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1993. He didn't go in that he went into the old timers category, but he didn't go in when they put a bunch of them in 1990. You know, a bunch of the old fighters that retired years ago. But he finished his career with a record of 135 wins, 17 losses, 55 by way of knockout. Okay. Here with me for a minute. What was Ezzard Charles' record? You have to be complete. I didn't give you Ezzard Charles' record. Let me give it to you. Box Rec. Come on, Box Rec. Okay. Ezzard Charles finished his career with a record of 95 wins, 25 losses, 1 draw, 52 by way of knockout. And of course, Tiger was 135, lost 17, 8 draws, 55 knockouts. Okay. Next, boxers from Georgia. Evander Holyfield. Not like a soldier. Evander was born in Atmore, Alabama, but he moved to Georgia at 5 years old. And I'm getting ready to tell you again when I read my notes, of course. Now, Evander rose to prominence as a heavyweight boxing champion in the 1990s, right? He has won the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times and set more records than any other boxer. Holyfield began boxing at 8 years old at the Southeast Atlanta's Warren Memorial Boys Club in 1984, Evander won bronze at the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. And he got cheated. They do those American boxers wrong in international competitions. This is the United States. Evander was fighting a fighter, and the referee was from the same country. That should never happen in the Olympics. You know, there's enough amateur referees where any fight in the Olympics, any one of the contestants should not be from the same country as the referee. Because the referee let Evander start his punch. Then he hollered, stop. Evander tried to stop. He could have pulled up and hurt himself. He followed through and hit the guy. The referee stopped the fight and disqualified Evander, right? And Evander was winning. Referee did that in the last round. His countryman was losing. But isn't that right? In the Olympics, neither one of the fighters should be from the same country as the referee. It just shouldn't happen, man. Happened to Roy Jones, happened to Floyd. I told you about Floyd. The man was announcing when the referee started to raise Floyd's hand. And if anybody knows who won the fight, the referee should know, right? And he thought Floyd won. He had to put Floyd's hand back down and raise the other guy's hand. That's crazy. But anyway, Evander won a bronze medal in '84 on that fire team, right? And Holyfield turned professional shortly after the Olympics on November 15th, 1984. And 2 years later, he won his first title professionally, winning the WBA and IBF cruiserweight titles at that time. He was the first boxer from that great 1984 U.S. Olympic team to win a gold medal. You know, that team consisted of Evander, Tyrell Biggs, Sweet Pea, Cornell Whitaker, Steve McCrory, a few others, man. That was just a great team. Rivals the 76 team, you know. We talk about how great this 76 team is. The 84 team was just as good. Wasn't it BBO? BBO knows. Joe ain't in here, but yeah, that 84 team was fire, man. I don't know who was better, 76 or 84. But Evander was the first one from that team to win a professional title. Okay? And He moved up to heavyweight in 1988 and he became a 3-time champion in that division, including a period where he was undisputed champion. And by that time, it was 3 belts. We had the WBA, WBC, and IBF. Now, I think the WBO was around, but the other 3 wasn't recognizing them as a major championship yet. So Evander was 3 belt undisputed at heavyweight. And Holyfield had some classic battles with heavyweight greats like Riddick Bowe, George Foreman, Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson, okay? And Holyfield retired in 2012 at the age of 50, ending his career with a record of 44 wins, 10 losses, 2 draws, 1 no contest. You know what that no contest was? The bite fight with Mike. That's Mike. Is that Mike right there? I'm not sure. Looked like it. 1 no contest and 29 knockouts. And he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2015. So I think it was 3 years by that point, because Holyfield retired in 2012, winning in 2015. I thought they had went from 3 years to 5 years to 3. But he went in 15. Okay. Now let's look at the rest of these boxes from Georgia. Okay, give me a drink of water. Right quick. Hope everybody's enjoying the show. Don't forget, tomorrow is a very good show by Ike Williams. You know, the Mafia had tried to control his career. Ike wouldn't buckle under to him, so the Mafia kind of held him back. There's Joe right there. What's up, Joe? I was just talking about you wasn't in here. Which one you think was better, Joe, the 76 Olympic team or the 84 Olympic team? I can't call it. They were both real good. Talk to me, Joe. Which one you think was better? 76, Sugar Ray, the Spinks brothers, 84, Holyfield, Tyrell Biggs, Sweet Pea, Steve McCoy. Which one was better? Which one do you think was better, Joe? I can't call. I would lean towards 76. I would lean 76. Put it in the chat, Joe. I would lean 76. Put it in the chat. Is it in there? I got my first member, too, of my clubs. I got 3 membership clubs. I got the Put It in the Chat club. I got Cass and Friends. And then I got the top level one, the Boxtorian Society. Okay. Find out the benefits of joining them after you join them. Okay. Next is who's next? On Boxers from Georgia. It's right there in front of you. Evander Holyfield. Lee Anderson. Lee Anderson is next. Sugar Ray, gotta keep track. Everett Charles, Tiger Flowers, Evander Holyfield. That's Lee Anderson. Okay. Next. Okay. Lee Anderson. Okay, now Lee Anderson. Like come in. Joe said 84. Okay. Was 84. The year the Cubans and Russians didn't show based on. Yeah. You know what, Joe? I put an asterisk by 80 and 84 Olympics because the United States didn't go in 80 and the Cuban and Russians didn't come in 84. So a lot of people that had gold medals wouldn't have them in 80 and 84 could be if the United States and Russians and Cubans had went. All because of politics. That's crazy. But yeah, Joe, that's a good point. 76 competed against the world. 84 really didn't. That is a very good point. Very good point, Joe. Lee Anderson. Now, Lee Anderson fought in the heavyweight division between 1914 and 1929, 15-year career. Okay, he fought. He was born in Deering, Georgia. Okay, and he fought out of Oakland, California. Okay, and as a light heavyweight. And Lee Anderson was the first holder of the world colored light heavyweight title. Okay, Lee Anderson. Next is Jimmy Bivens. There's Jimmy on the left. That's Jimmy Bivens on the left. OJ had some good slides today. I gotta use something other than that because I can't see that. I'll put a big dot over there. Putting a check, but I got so much writing on there, I can't even see it. Jimmy Bivens. Okay, there's Jimmy. He's next on our box of Georgia. And Jimmy is from Dry Branch, Georgia. Dry Branch, Georgia. Mike Mazik said 76 too. Okay, Mike. Yeah. I would go with 76 because of what Joe said. You can't really get a good gauge on 84 because the Cubans and Russians wasn't there. Okay. And you know, Cubans and Russians, man, they compete in boxing. So yeah. Yeah, Mike, I would have to go 76 too. Yep, 76. Anybody else have an opinion on that? 84, 76. Which was the best United States Olympic team? Now, Jimmy Bivens, okay? Now, he fought between 1940 and 1955. He had a 15-year career, right? Born in Dry Branch, Georgia. And isn't this something? This went over the show yesterday. I missed it, but guess what? Jimmy never got the opportunity to fight for a title. They fit right in. And I didn't cover him yesterday, but he should have been a part of yesterday's show. Never got the opportunity to fight for a title, right? And at one point, he was the #1 contender at light heavyweight and heavyweight. So how come he didn't get a title shot? Wow. But he fought and defeated many of the great fighters of his era, right? And he won the duration light heavyweight and heavyweight titles, whatever that was. And in recognition of his achievements in the ring, among other things, he defeated 8 of the 11 world champions he faced. Never got a title shot, but during his career, he fought 11 world champions and beat 8 of them. Wow. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1999. Never got a title shot, but still in the Hall of Fame. He was also the one-time husband of Dory Matt, the subject of prominent Supreme Court case regarding the rights of search and seizure. That was his wife, okay? Never heard of him, but that was his wife. He won 86 fights. He lost 26, had 1 draw, 31 knockouts. Jimmy Bivens. Never fought for a heavyweight title, but he fought 11 heavyweight champions, beat 8 of them, still in the Hall of Fame, okay? Next is Benny Briscoe. There's Benny. On the right, the ball-headed one. Benny. Anybody come in? Okay. Joe said, I heard Riddick Bowe tell Holyfield they could be cousins because Bowe's brother was born in Georgia. Holyfield shouted, we ain't cousins, Bowe. They could be cousins. Bowe's mother's from Georgia, okay, but Bowe's not, right? Oh, okay. The racing title was during the war when Lewis was serving. Bivens, okay. I got you, Joe. See what bit about having boxing historians in your chat. Okay. That was the duration title when Joe Louis was serving during the war. Bivens was considered the champion. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Okay. Benny Briscoe. Let's cover Benny Briscoe. Benny Briscoe from Augusta, Georgia. Okay. 325. Now, how long I been on here? Somebody put it in the chat. I ain't been on here no hour and 25 minutes. Wow. Okay. Benny Briscoe. He was a fan favorite for his punching power. He was known as the quintessential Philly boxer, Benny out of Philly, and one of the greatest fighters of its era, who due to various reasons, guess what? Did not become a world champion. Are we still in Wednesday show? Wow. Benny didn't become a world champion either, the last 2. Now, Benny had a record of, he won 66 fights, okay? He lost 24. He had 5 draws, and Benny had 53 knockouts. And Benny never held a world title either. Wow. covered that yesterday, but I missed it. Now I like this slide. Miss Cash said this was a good one too. I'm not going to delete this one. Told you I had some good ones today. The next is Ebo Elder. Y'all like that? Mm-hmm. Ebo Elder. Ebo on the left. Okay. Like that, Remo? That's the work of Cass Sports, the box historian. Ebo Elder from Newman, Georgia. NEWMAN, Newman, Georgia. Okay, Ebo Elder. You gotta keep track of what Joe's saying because I'm learning. Class is in. Okay, the duration. Oh, I read that. The duration title. Yeah, during the war. Okay. Ebo Elder from Newman, Georgia, right? Now, Ebo is a former WBO, NABO lightweight champion, and he also had the IBA Continental Light Welterweight title and the WBO Intercontinental Light Welterweight title. And in January 2007, Ebo left boxing to start Reality Ministries, and he began speaking at churches, colleges, public schools, youth detention centers, and other places. Ebo's autobiography, The Great Comeback, is available at www.eboelder.com. Write that down, y'all. www.eboelder.com. And Ebo won 22 fights, lost 3, and he got 14 by knockout. Ebo Elder. Next, Vernon Forrest. I don't have a picture because Trump reminded me of Vernon. I didn't even have Vernon on here, man. But yeah, Vernon's from Georgia. Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. Didn't have him on here, though. Thank you, Trump. Okay. Yeah, Vernon was big time, man. Got killed. He got robbed, and then he went chasing after the guy, and there was a couple of them. They had another one waiting for him, and another one shot him, and then there was another one driving. It was 3 of them. But I think they caught him, yeah. But he got murdered down there. Now, Vernon is from Augusta, Georgia. Vernon Forrest, okay? Now, he competed from 1992 to 2008, 16-year career, okay? Vernon Forrest. And he held multiple world championships in 2 weight divisions, including the WBC, IBF, Ring Magazine, and Lineal welterweight titles between 2002 and 2003. And he had the WBC super welterweight title twice between 2007 and 2009. He was named Fighter of the Year by the Ring Magazine and the Boxing Writers Association of America, okay? That was 2002. He had a good year in 2002, yeah. And Vernon won 41 fights. He lost 3. He had 1 no contest, and he won 29 fights by knockout. Let me see if I can find about Vernon's murder real quick in here. See, I would have had that if I would have had. There it is, right there. Yeah, Vernon. About 11 p.m. on July 25th, 2009, Vernon stopped at a gas station in the Atlanta neighborhood of Mechanicsville. With him was his 11-year-old godson. And as his godson went inside the gas station, Vernon went to the back of his car to add air to a tire. As he was putting air in his tire, a man robbed him at gunpoint and fled. Vernon, who was also armed, went after the man, and shots were exchanged between the two. After he went a short distance, Vernon gave up the chase and began talking to a second man. It was this man that shot Vernon, okay? He shot Vernon 7 to 8 times in the back as Vernon was walking away from him. And according to the police, the shooter and a second person left the scene in a red Pontiac. So it was 3 of them. The first guy that robbed him and the guy that shot him, somebody pulled up and picked him up. Vernon died at the scene, and the death was ruled a homicide. Atlanta police would arrest and later charge 25-year-old Equante Cruz, 20-year-old Demario Ware and 30-year-old Charmaine Sinkfield for his murder. It is believed that Sinkfield was the shooter, Ware was the first man that approached him and robbed him, and Cruz was the driver. Cruz and Ware are serving life sentences, okay? On October 28th, Charmaine Sinkfield was sentenced to life without parole. Sinkfield was the shooter, right? He got life without parole. And the other two, the driver and the first guy that robbed him, got 30 years, okay? They all should have got life without parole. Yeah. Because, you know, they all was involved in the thing. But yeah, that's what happened to Vernon, yeah. Yeah. How old was he when that happened? Bear with me for a second. 2011. Vernon was about 40. About 40. Okay. Yeah, Vernon Forrest. That came to a tragic end, man. Lakes is Bojack. Not Pomac, Bojack. This is the guy that him, Ike Williams, and Paul Montgomery, you like old fights. Any combination of those three fighting are very good fights, you know. And I remember Ike, we're gonna talk about those fights tomorrow because Ike Williams is the profile, okay? But right now we're talking about Bojack from Waynesboro, Georgia. Bojack is from Waynesboro. Okay. Yeah, and isn't it Madam McQueen? Yeah. Yeah. 30 years, them other ones probably out now, because, you know, when you go to prison, you don't never... Now, life without parole, I know in Maryland they change life is life. Once they say life, you could get out on life, but now once they say life, that's it. But 30 years, you might do 5 years, man. I'm serious. That's just how the prison system is. So those two are probably out by now, the first two. If they behave themselves and everything in there. Yeah. But seriously, I've seen it. People have 30 years and do 5. They home. All the time. Yeah. That sentencing don't mean nothing, man. They got all kinds of loopholes. Coach will tell you, Thomas Morse. Yep. But Bojack, real name is Sidney Walker, okay? He fought at lightweight, and he was a two-time world lightweight champion in the 1940s. And he was the most popular fighters during the World War II years. And he headlined at Madison Square Garden 21 cards, right? That's a record that still holds. 21 times at the Garden, Bojack. Damn, you ever see him fight Remo? Oh, Remo ain't that old. This was in the 40s. I'm gonna leave Remo alone. Yeah, Remo too old for that. They was picking for me one time in the meeting because I was saying I was trying to get our meet and greet house, but you had to take a picture. They kept saying my license was too faded up and everything. So they're gonna say I got my license during the Great Depression. Okay, so I'm just getting them back. I think Jay Hardcore was the one that said that. They was all laughing. Remo was laughing. Bojack won 91 fights, lost 24. He had 5 draws, 1 no contest, and 44 knockouts. Bojack, okay? Next is, did I tell you Bojack was from Waynesboro? I believe I did. Yeah, Waynesboro. Next is Tommy Jackson. Tommy is from Sparta, Georgia. That's down there where in the heat of the night was film where the chief is the chief of police. I can't remember his name. What was his name? Virgil was the detective. Remember? Y'all remember the heat of the night. Don't act like y'all all that young. I ain't the only old one in here. Okay. Tommy Jackson is next. Tommy Jackson. That's Tommy up there. Okay. I keep making sure nobody come in. Tommy Jackson from Sparta, Georgia. Okay. Now Tommy nickname was the Hurricane, right? And he competed from 1951 to 1961, 10 years. In July 1957, he fought Floyd Patterson for the heavyweight championship, right? Floyd beat him. But Jackson was noted for his stamina, bravery, and unorthodox style as a fighter. He was trained and managed by Whitey Bimstein, famous legendary trainer from that period. I know Joe heard of him. Whitey Bimstein. Yeah, he trained Tommy Jackson. Now, Tommy finished his career with 44 fights. He won 34. He lost 9. And he had 1 draw. And he had 16 knockouts. Tommy Jackson from Sparta, Georgia. Next, referee Mills Lane. Remember Mills? He used to be a referee. He became a judge too. Here's Mills. Yeah, Mills Lane. He was refereeing the Tyson and Holyfield fight. I couldn't get them in the picture. I tried. I couldn't get them in there. But there's Mills Lane. Former boxing referee, judge. Come on, Mills. Yeah, there we go. And he used to be a professional boxer too, right? And he was a 2-time Washoe County, Nevada district judge and a television personality. Mills Lane from Savannah, Georgia. Yep, Mills. And Mills, I told you he was a boxer. He had 11 total fights. He won 10, only lost 1. Had 6 knockouts. Like a 60% knockout rate for Mills. Not bad. 6 out of 10 guys, he got him up out of there. Mills Lane was a pretty good referee too, wasn't he, Joe? Yeah, Mills was pretty good. Pretty good referee. Winding down. 338. Okay. Charles Smith is next. Charles is from Macon, Georgia. Macon. Here's Charles. There's Charles. Tell he fought back in the day. Just look at his picture. Charles C. Smith. Okay? Charles claimed the status of being the world colored heavyweight champion. And he was the first world colored heavyweight champion. Remember, the other guy was the first world colored light heavyweight champion. Virgil Tibbs, that's him, Joe. Virgil Tibbs. Down in Sparta. I can't remember. Chief Gillespie. The chief was named Gillespie. Virgil was the detective, right? But yeah, Charles C. Smith was the first colored heavyweight champion back in the old days, 1900s to 1920, somewhere around in there. And he had 66 total fights, okay? He won 40, lost 14, right? And had 5 draws. That's not, oh, no, 40. That's not 66. 40 and 14 is 54. That's 50. That's what it says. He won 40, had lost 5, had 5 draws. Oh, he had 7 no contests. That's 66. Damn, that's a lot of no contests, ain't it? 7. Wow, Charles. He was either in there fouling people or getting fouled a lot of something. Young Stribling is next. Young Stribling. I did know the significance of their nickname, but I forgot. It might be in here. Let's see. Young Stribling. Now, he had fought in that fight when I did Florida against, remember I talked about 3 fights, Muhammad Ali and Cassius Clay and Aaron Pride and Alexis Aguero, and the other one was Young Stribling and somebody, I forgot who it was. Oh yeah, the guy that beat Jack Dempsey twice. What was his name? Back in the 20s. Jack Sharkey. Yeah. Young Stribling was a part of that historic fight. But anyway, Young Stribling, his real name is William Lawrence Stribling Jr. So that's why I call himself Young Stribling. I guess his father is Old Stribling, right? Yeah, Young Stribling. You know, now the intro song to the Heat of the Night series is stuck in my head. Yeah, Joe. In the heat of the night. Yeah, I got a good singing voice. I got trouble on my mind. Okay. Young Stribling. William Lawrence Stribling Jr. Talking about that song, Joe? Okay. Known as Young Stribling, right? And he fought from featherweight all the way up to heavyweight. Wow, that's a wide range. But they didn't have the tweeners. So they just had the main 8 then. Okay. But it's still a long range, featherweight to heavyweight. Wow. And His 1931 fight against Max Schmeling for Schmeling's World Heavyweight Championship was named Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year. Stribling was inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1965 and the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1996. Okay, young Stribling. And he won, get this, 256 fights. Only lost 16. 17 draws, 2 no contests, 29 by knockout. 291 fights, only 29 knockouts. So it's safe to say young Stribling wasn't a power puncher. But young Stribling from Bainbridge, Georgia. Young Stribling. We're going to get it done. Winding down. Next is Obie Walker. Obie Walker. I'm going to have to improve my handwriting because it's going to take me a minute to read these letters. I wrote that name. There's Obie. He's from way back. That's the best picture I could find on Obie. I'm sorry. Yeah. Obie Walker. Obie is from Cochran, Georgia. Boxers from Georgia. Cochran, Georgia. Obie Walker. Okay. Obie was he was the world colored heavyweight champion too from October 9th, 1933, when he outpointed title holder George Godfrey Jr. in a 10-round fight at the arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he had it for 2 years till 1935. He lost his title to former colored heavyweight champion Larry Gaines in the Rugby Stadium in England. I didn't even know they still had the colored heavyweight champion in the 30s because blacks was fighting for the regular heavyweight champion then. Oh, I ain't gonna lose my job. There's a super chat, Lonnie Lee. Appreciate you, Lonnie Lee. It says support, bro. There's Lonnie Lee, a 10-piece. I didn't miss it, Miss Cass. So I'm safe. I told y'all I'm on probation for missing them super chats, but I got that one. Appreciate you, Lonnie Lee. Lonnie Lee always support. But Obie Walker. And Obie won 93 fights, lost 20. He had 8 draws, 1 no contest, 62 by knockout. That's how they fought back then. He had a total 124. It wasn't nothing because they fought twice a month sometimes, back-to-back months. Remember, Willie Pep fought twice in 10 days. So, yeah, it wasn't nothing to have over 100 fights back then. I ain't going to say too much about this guy because he's the profile tomorrow. I'm going to go in depth on him. Ike Williams. That's him and Bojack right there. Remember I told you him, Bojack, Mark Montgomery, those three had a series of fights, and that's him and Bojack right there. Ike Williams. Okay. Not going to say too much about him. Matter of fact, I'm just going to skip over Ike, and we're going to go in on Ike tomorrow. Okay. And we got one more. Paul Williams. Paul Williams from Augusta, Georgia. That's one of them Trump gave me because I didn't have Paul in here. But see if I can get a couple minutes of link time in here after Paul. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. Paul is from Augusta, Georgia. Oh, come on, Paul. Don't do you. Some actor came up. I guess I got to put in Paul Williams, boxer. You know, get big names like Holyfield. You ain't got to put boxing, but some names, you know. I didn't have Paul in my notes because I didn't have him on the thing, and I was going to start the show when Trump put that on there. So I gotta, you know, what they call it. Paul, I'm reading straight from the Wikipedia on him. Paul competed from 2000 to 2012, 12-year career. Had the WBO welterweight title twice between 2007 and 2008. Had the WBO interim in 2008 also. And he challenged for the unified middleweight title in 2010. Nicknamed the Punisher. Wow. Hell of a nickname. In 2012, after a motorcycle accident left him paralyzed, his career ended kind of early, paralyzed from the waist down. Wow. So he had 43 fights, though, 141, lost 2. 27 by way of knockout. And there you have it. Boxers from Georgia. I'm going to drop the link. We got like 10 minutes of link time in here. Let me get that in there for y'all. This link is for everybody, not just T. Hill. But I know T. Hill going to hit it. T. Hill always comes up here and helps me out. Thomas T. Hill, hashtag JBT. I gave him that nickname, by the way. It was me. Just like he gave me Cass Sports the Box Story. Yeah. I'm coming. I get the link right on the first time every time. Emo said I don't know nothing about technology, but I know a little bit. Like I said, I ain't up there with him, Ant, and Horry Fanks. They are crazy technology. What is it, Technologican or whatever? Him, Ant, that's our technological analytical team. Remo, Ant McQueen, and Horry Fanks. We got that covered big time. Them three. Now what is that, a G or a Q? It's one way to find out. Go up there and look, Cass Sports, the Box Story. It's the G. Okay. I'm bragging. It's coming to you. And you know, don't worry, if the music ever malfunction one day, I can hum because I got a good voice on. So don't ever worry about the music. Okay? Here's the link. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Appreciate Lonnie Lee. Always dropping super chats on me. Larry Holmes, I thought he was, oh yeah, he might have been born there, Joe, but I'm going to do him when I do Pennsylvania because, you know, he's known for Philly, the Eastern Assassin. But he may have been, Joe, I'm not sure. But, I didn't include him. Sugar Ray is the one I'm going to include. I'm not going to include Sugar Ray for Georgia, New York, and Michigan. You know. But I'm not sure, Joe. He might be. I'm going to have to check on that. But, you know, he's known for Pennsylvania. So, yeah, Larry going to be part of that. But Hawaii is next week, okay? The great state of Hawaii is next week. Okay, everybody? So, that's at Hawaii. Yeah, I think Trump told me somebody that was from Hawaii. I forgot already. I know Bobo Austin is. And Bobo Austin and a few others. I would have to look it up. But me and Old School got a show coming up on Muhammad Ali. That was Old School is available, my part-time co-host. Okay. From the left at 5. What you mean, Joe? He left at 5. Okay. But yeah, me and Old School got one coming up on Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I got a lot on. I don't even need notes on Muhammad. Yeah, I don't even need notes on Muhammad Ali. I wish this thing would get out of my way. Come on. Yeah. But we got Just Do Boxing coming up in about 10 minutes. The voice of these YouTube streets. Always got something good going on over there on Just Do Boxing. The voice. He's probably listening, ready for 4 o'clock. You know, they got just Baby Do, the youngest member of the JBT. Yep. From the Just Do family, Mrs. Just Do. In the last couple of days. Might be listening to. Yeah. YouTube Boxing Royalty. The Just Do Boxing family. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, let me tell y'all something funny. I was looking to see what Just Do was talking about before I was going off yesterday, and I was calling up people's names. I thought they was in my chat. I was looking at Just Do's chat. I was like Miss Joette, Barbara D, Judah Vision, saying welcome to Cash Sports, and they was in Just Do's chat. Look at his chat calling out names. They weren't even in here, man. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There's Al Booger. What's up, Al Booger? I didn't even know you was in here. You just came in?
Good, bro. Yeah, I just came in.
Okay. What's going on?
Good, bro. Yeah. Good show, as usual.
Oh, you supposed to tell us something about your fight out there.
Yeah, man. T Hill, he hit me up. He been telling me I need to hit that link when you drop it. So I think he's probably he's around somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
T Hill was always somewhere.
Yeah, close by.
Yeah, number 24. Mm-hmm. It was good, man. I've been to LA, a few times at this point, but
okay.
I never stayed. So it was in BMO Stadium, which is where they did a soccer games for MLS.
Okay.
So that was a weird choice, August in LA, outdoor stadium. That was
outside.
People were not feeling that.
Because normally they had those fights over there where the Lakers play at, right? In LA a lot of times, don't they?
I don't even know. They barely do fights in LA, really.
But not that often. Yeah.
I know when it's been some fights in Cali, they were like Northern California area. But not so much in LA from what I've seen.
Okay.
It was cool. But aside from the sun, we had to kind of figure that out a little bit. The crowd was great. Everybody was there to have a good time. I saw a bunch of fighters, actually. I saw Shakur Stevenson. As we were walking into the stadium, he was right outside, talking to people, hanging out, all by himself. Nobody was with him. He was by himself.
Yeah.
Saw Shushu walking around, got a picture with him. My brother did, not me. My man Brian Torres was out there. He was right next to us for a while.
Right next to you? Doing the fight?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's a lie. You're not right next to me, but I could have walked right over and said,
in that area. Yeah.
He was 10 feet away, taking pictures and everything. We saw a bunch of people. A lot of people were out there. So that was cool. Like I said, the crowd, everybody was into it. The crowd seemed pretty knowledgeable. Like they cheered and booed at the right time. In particular.
The crowd get restless when they was taking all that time between fights, doing all that other stuff. Like,
how did
the crowd react to that? They wasn't with that, were they? That was a little
no.
I didn't think so.
No. Nobody cared about the card. The dude, like I said, he came from the club seats all the way down. That took forever. They had to present it. He had to smile for pictures and everything. Then they did the Turkey Yellow Sheik thing, and nobody was feeling that. I mean.
And now the ring walks, they had that set up a good ways away from the ring too, didn't they? Because they was taking a long time to get there. The fighters was. Did you see where that was at?
Oh yeah. So we were actually facing the ring and also facing the entrance, so we could see them when they came out on that stage. Yeah, I could see it. I took some pictures and videos of all of that.
Yeah. Okay. That was nice.
It was a decent walk. Yeah, it's a little decent walk. But ladies were out. They had, everyone was dressed up real nice.
Yeah.
It was a nice mix because you got like the East LA crowd, like the Vatos, Latinos out there. And you had sort of like the Central LA, so you had the black contingent, plenty of white folks mixed in there. A bunch of Asian people, everybody was in there. The whole world was in that stadium.
Other than boxers, like any movie star, or anybody from Hollywood? There was,
Vince Vaughn was there. He didn't get no love when they put him on a big screen.
Damn. Oh man. I don't even think they were showing the stars.
They did. He was here.
Okay.
There was an actress. I don't remember her name, but they showed her a few times.
Blonde hair.
She did.
Slim like. Yeah, I remember. They did show her a few times. I forget her name, but I remember her. Yeah.
So she didn't get no love either. The crowd was there for boxing. They were there for boxing.
Yeah, of
They weren't
course.
there for
just
Eminem
you know?
or nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I think, but that's my very quick rundown. It was a very cool crowd.
Yeah.
It did go long. It went way too long, in my opinion. Actually, to be honest
But
with you.
the card was a success, though. The fight.
Oh yeah.
They were pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time the main event rolled around, it looked sold out to me. Like every seat looked filled up to me.
Okay.
Now people talking about they gave seats away or they gave tickets or whatever, but I don't know about that. But
Yeah, people
I know it was full. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's real prison talk, Coach Tommy in the building. What's up, Coach?
Yeah, salute Tommy.
Yeah.
Salute the whole chat.
Yeah, I know you had. How long was you out there for? Did you stay the whole week?
Nah, just the weekend, just the in and out, just the in and out trip. Yeah, I got in Friday. We actually went down to LA Live. So, I know Philly has a live thing down at where the stadiums are in South Philly. So you got the Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers, right? And the Flyers. They're in that same area, so they have like a little entertainment venue with bars and restaurants right in that same spot.
Okay.
LA has that too, called LA Live. So we walked to that, and we saw some more people. Sean Porter was up there, and what's my man? Not Eddie Reynoso, the other trainer.
Robert Garcia.
Garcia. He was up there. He was taking pictures. He had the belt with him. So they had a whole thing, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I was in there Friday, Saturday, then bounced Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon, yeah.
We gotta go to Just Do, but let me ask you this last thing. Now, suppose you would have won the car, you would have drove it on back.
You keep asking. If I had the time, maybe. But like, this was an electric car, and I don't know, what kind of stations they have in the middle of America. I don't know if they have, charging stations out there.
Oh yeah.
It was a nice car though.
To you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a Lucid car.
I know that name sounds kind of strange. Electric. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. That's just like a new luxury brand, Lucid.
That's the only way I would get an electric car. I would have to win it. I sure ain't buying one.
Man.
Wow.
I don't know about these electric cars. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm on the fence too, but yeah.
But I appreciate it.
That's all I got, bro. Yeah, man. You that dude. You doing your thing.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Take it easy, bro.
You want to? You got any in mind yet?
No. So I guess Tank is going to be in Vegas, right? I wish he'd do it on the East Coast, but that's going to be probably in Vegas.
Probably be in Vegas. Yeah. That's
true. Who you got? You go to fights at all? You hit fights up?
The last one I went to was the Tank fight. He fought in D.C. I think it was
man.
23. That card where he fought Hector.
That was Barrios. Oh, Hector Garcia?
Hector, remember? The first one last year, DC. That's 23, remember?
Oh, that was DC. I thought he fought Barrios in DC. Okay.
Boots was on it, and Rashidi fought that one.
Yep.
Boo Boo was there, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was a good card.
Yeah, that was nice, man. Yeah. That was the last.
Sure, I know it's 4 o'clock. I would have hold you up.
Tank come anywhere in this area, I'm there, man.
Oh yeah, it's on.
But I ain't going out way out there to Vegas.
You already know.
Yeah.
I wish, man, but nah, I can't swing it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Whenever the next fight's around, I'm definitely gonna hit you up, see what's going on with that.
Okay, Albert.
I'm gonna try to make something happen. All right, my brother.
Appreciate
Keep doing your thing.
Boys. All right, Albert. Appreciate you. That was Al Booger. Big time JBT supporter, big JBT member and Cast Sports supporter. It's time for The Voice. Don't forget, tomorrow is the life and career of Ike Williams. Okay? And salute the coach. Further talk of Tommy in the building. Make sure you support him. Dropping some fire videos and stuff. And when you look at these videos from these channels, don't just watch them. Make a comment, like, subscribe, and make a comment. It all is we appreciate all of it, and it helps the channel out. So like, subscribe. If you like to subscribe, make a comment or something. Just say what's up or hello or something. Just make a comment. Okay. But I appreciate everybody. We're going to be back tomorrow with the life and career of Ike Williams. Because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me again today. Just Do Boxing is straight ahead. I am Cass Sports. Everybody have a great day. I'm out of here.